Welcome to the Pretty and Profiting Show, your favorite show for branding, beauty, business, and the truth of how to be a boss lady and build your empire. Pause the show right now and grab your seat at prettyprofitsgift.com and enroll into the free 21-day e-course to build a brand that people crush on, gossip about, and buy from. And now, your host. She is the fierce money-making brand strategist and creative freaking genius, Nicole K. Lundy.
Hey, it's your host, Nicole K. Lundy, another episode of my favorite show, The Pretty and Profiting Show, and your favorite show, The Pretty and Profiting Show. And we're talking a really cool topic because I love discussing fear, being bold, being unapologetic. So, how fearless CEO women operate. It's not a game. You know this. I know this. It is not a game being a CEO. It is not a game being in this journey. It's not a game building a global brand. It's not a game when it comes to how can I be memorable? How can I be remembered? How can I be the authority? It's just not a game. In so many areas, this is just not a game. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for anybody who's not ready to be a lion, to be aggressive, to be unstoppable. But at the same time, I know we always have those people we look at from a distance, some very close distance, some a far distance, and we admire them because they just seem like they're on a different level of just being this awesomely fearless CEO ready to take down anybody and anything in her way. So I made a few observations, and I want to hear your observations too, because I know you know a few people in this category, you included, on some of the traits. And one of the things that I've noticed is that they see the obstacle, they see the situation that looks, undoable and crazy, and they dive in and they do it anyway. So nothing is ever perfect. And I actually had this conversation with my fiance recently on there's never a time in business where all of the pieces to the puzzle are perfectly in place. It just never happens. And the thing is, if you wait for that to happen, then the moment is gone. The sector, the culture, the thinking around it has passed. Now now everybody's on a new way of thinking, a new way of doing things. And your product, service, whatever is now irrelevant. You cannot wait for everything to be perfect. You have to dive in and you have to do it anyway. So just take a deep breath, get centered, however you do that, and get into it. Don't overthink it. Don't talk to people who are scary cats. Dive in and do it anyway. The other trait that I see, and a lot of people talk about that, is really operating out of your comfort zone. But I feel, for the fearless CEO women, how they operate is that they're out their comfort zone, but they're out their comfort zone with accountability. Because the thing is, if you don't have accountability, somebody watching you and making sure that you stay 1,000 miles or, even 5 miles away from your comfort zone, you will snap back. Listen, at the end of the day, CEO or not, we're all human beings. And until, being out of our comfort zone with a specific habit, task, or way of operating becomes a habit, we will snap back like a rubber band. It's how the brain works. But with accountability, the habit becomes more concrete, quicker, sooner, faster. And you don't go back because, listen, first of all, as a baseline, as a CEO woman, you will not look like a punk, right? If somebody knows you committed to something, you're not going to go back because they know you don't want to look crazy out there. So accountability and being out your comfort zone is a perfect pairing. You will get it done. Next is that you have to open your mouth and ask. You have to ask for the sale. You have to ask for the opportunity. You have to ask. Now, I find I am the oldest of a total of 4 kids. My mom actually has only 2. My dad has 4. But I'm the oldest and I'm the only girl. So what I learned, and some of my friends who are also older siblings, is that sometimes you learn not to ask as much because the younger siblings, they overdo it. They ask for every single thing, and you kind of program yourself that there's not much left to ask for, and you just pick up the scraps. That doesn't work for business. That didn't work for me in business for a long time, and it actually stunted me forever. I was too proud to ask. I thought that asking for help was a weakness. Asking for the sale was obvious. I mean, like, you know what I do. Why don't you ask to work with me? Instead of me getting the gumption to ask for everything. This is where things happen. These are where a lot of opportunities lie, and it lies in the ask. A lot of opportunities don't happen and will never happen because somebody refuses to ask. So dive in and do it anyway. Comfort zone, being far out as possible with accountability, is a perfect pairing, and you have to learn to ask. Now, I have a few other traits that I've noticed for CEO women who operate fearlessly, but we're going to discuss them when we come back. It's time to get bold and get your brand out there in a big, smart way. If you want more clients, a waiting list, in fact, the exact tools to make more money with your programs, to become the celebrity in your marketplace, generate more business opportunities to showcase your expertise, a zealous community of people in your tribe, and to make more money, I created the Monetize My Brand program to do exactly that for your business. Listen, the world is hungry for real, authentic brands that not only transforms their life, but impacts generations to come. Go to prettyprofits2015.com today and enroll. So today we're talking about how fearless CEO women operate. I truly feel that as fearless as you consider yourself to be, there's always 1 or 2 CEO women that you look at and admire. You're like, man, like they just are killing it. And believe it or not, you're not too far away from that. It's just hard for you to see yourself like that. But I do want to talk to you today, and what I am talking to you today about is, certain things I've noticed, and I'm going to have a part 2, part 3, part 4, part 20 on this as more observations come to surface on this topic. But a few things that's obvious is that they dive in and do it anyway. They see the challenges. It's not perfect. They do it anyway. Now is the time that things happen. The shit gets done. That things need to start. That projects need to start rolling. 2 is they're far out of their comfort zone. I mean, some of them are 20,000 miles away from it, but they do it with accountability. Because accountability is a perfect pairing to being out your comfort zone until it's a habit. Otherwise, you'll snap back like a rubber band. And 3, they open their mouth and they ask for everything. They've released being a perfectionist. They've released this do-it-all superwoman craziness that we're taught to have. And they ask. So next, I want to talk about being a mentor and having a mentee. I think it's if there's a perfect circle of life, well, I would say circle of business life, is to be be the center of that trifecta. So you're in the middle, you're being mentored by somebody who's been in the trenches, and in a similar path that you're working on. And at the same time, you have a mentee where you are mentoring them through the trenches that you have firsthand experience on. It keeps your brain alive. It keeps you in full growth mode. You will accelerate in ways that you cannot even imagine. And it just makes you a super powerful and super smart CEO and businesswoman and entrepreneur and leader and authority. And you will have a rich journey because of this. It's the perfect trifecta. So you have a mentor and you have a mentee. Now, I also want to say about mentors and mentee is that you can have several mentors who have different specialties. So you might have a business mentor, a relationship mentor, a sales mentor, a PR mentor. Like, mentors come in all shapes and sizes, literally. So you're not relegated to just one, but you want to find the perfect mix and maybe not have 10 at a time, but maybe have 2 to 3 at a time. You can also have 2 to 3 mentees at a time in different areas and walks of life. It'll be a perfect mix, but get in that, have different trifectas set up, and you will see phenomenal growth. Lastly, I want to talk about listening. As on the go and, occupied as we are being entrepreneurs and CEOs, we have to, myself included, make time to listen. Listen to the market, listen to your clients of what they want, listen to your target audience on what you could create next, what information you can share, what you can teach them on. Listen to your team members, what's going right, what's going wrong, what are the metrics looking at, get their opinion, assess it, work as a team. Listen to investors if you have investors in your business, because you don't want to piss them off. But the point is, you have to listen. You have to listen. Some of us naturally do it. Some of us, we have to learn how to do this. I was on the learning side. And it's a continuous process, because you can always improve in this area specifically, but in a lot of areas. So how fearless CEO women operate. I have more coming on this topic. Make sure you see part 2, part 3, part 20. I don't know when they're coming out. As I make the next 5 assessments, I'll do another episode. But until then, it's the Pretty and Profiting Show. It's your host, Nicole K. Lundy, and I will see you next episode. Bye. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Pretty and Profiting Show. Now, I want you to join the Pretty and Profiting Posse over on Facebook. It's simple to join. Just go to Facebook, type in Pretty and Profiting in the search box, and click join. Hurry, we're waiting on you. Until next time, stay pretty and stack those profits.